Hey guys, today I'm going to show you another free guitar amp and cab plugin that you can use called the Boogex from Voxengo. Alright guys, so the Boogex, and again, this is a free plugin from Voxengo. I'll actually put a link in the description of this YouTube video here so you can go download that. So this is a really simplified amp simulator here, amp and cab simulator. It's got a really nice simple interface, nothing overly complex. There's not a lot of bells and whistles on here, and it's really designed just to give you some solid minimalist guitar tones. However, within the plugin, there are a lot of things you can do to shape your tone and get different types of sounds. And we'll go over some of those in the features. Now, with the wide range of guitar tones that you can get from the Boogex, it's probably not the best for metal tones. However, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to show you a way you can get metal tones out of this plugin. Now, I am going to let you hear what this plugin sounds like. I'm going to give you some tones on here, of course, but first let's take a little bit closer look at some of the features. Alright, so right off the bat when we open the plugin, you can see you've got this thing called the emphasis EQ up here, and you've also got this little spectrum setting, and when I open this up you can see you've got different settings that you can use here. So I'm just leaving this on default because when it comes to EQ, I personally keep things kind of simple, but it's cool that you have that feature there. So we move towards the middle of the plugin here, and then we've got our amp settings. So here's your pre-EQ here. You've just got your basic low, mid, high, and then you've got the drive over here. Now, as simple as the amp interface looks here, you've actually got more options. In fact, you have 10 more. So there's a little button above the pre-EQ mix here, and that gives you a drop down of different tones that you can get. So you've got like a soft, medium, hard, harder, poppy, bright, warm, crisp, D-bass, and straw here. So you've got these different options to kind of push the amp towards a certain tone that you want. So we go down a little further. This is where we get into our cabinets here. Now you've got what's called a Dynacab, and what this allows you to do, you can just click on that button there. It pulls up a cabinet 1 and a cabinet 2, so you can have, two different cabinets together. And actually there's 61 different cabinet settings. I open this up here and you can see all of the cabinet settings. Now that's a little overwhelming to some, but I know a lot of you just love to go through and just mess with different tones. So you'll kind of be in like cabinet tone heaven over here. So again, you've got two of those. You got the two options. You can use just one cabinet or you can use two cabinets. Now below that, you've got the 1-2 mix envelope here. So you've just got a lot more control here over your tone. You've got your attack, your release, your cabinet game, and so forth. Now, if you don't want the Dynacab enabled, you can just click, there's a button over here, just click that, it goes away, and then you're just using the one cab here, which you can click in the middle there, and then you've got the same cabs, you're just using one cab instead of two. And lastly, Voxengo throws in their stereo reverb into this plugin called the OldSkoolVerb here. You've got a lot of options here. You've got a pre-delay, a space, time, width, and gain. And this reverb is pretty cool. I've actually been messing around with it some, and I've gotten some really cool sounds out of it. Oh, and one more thing, the Boogex does come with presets, which that's always a good place to start, and then of course shape your tone from there. I'm actually going to go through some of my favorite presets. Of course, there's going to be some slight modifications that I made to cater to what I like, but I'm going to let you hear those now. Now let's hear what the Boogex sounds like in the full mix. So as you can see, or hear rather, you can get some pretty nice tones out of this plugin, from clean to that really gritty rock tone. But what about metal? So here's the cool thing about the Boogex. You can actually turn the amp off and just use the cabinet impulses in here. So I decided to go download a metal amp plugin and use it with the Boogex. So you can easily use Boogex as a standalone option. You've got your amp, well actually you've got different amps in there, and I showed you 10 different types of amp settings that you have, and then you've got an array of cabinet options and then pairing them together. So there's like endless options for tones. Or if you want a heavier sound, you can pair it with a metal amp simulator and then just use the Boogex cabinet impulses and get an array of metal tones with that. So guys, let me know your thoughts on the tones you just heard. And again, I'll leave a link to their website in the description of this YouTube channel where you can go download the Boogex by Voxengo, and it's a completely free amp sim. Now, my history with Voxengo goes back a couple of years. I actually downloaded their vocal plugin called Voxformer, and I used that for the vocal tracks for my last album, Masterpiece. And it served quite well for thrash and death metal vocals. So I've been trying out some of their other plugins as well. So definitely check them out. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ding that little bell. I'll see you on the next video. As always, keep it metal.